Hello and welcome back to the Beefy Tech channel. Today I wanted to address AMD Ryzen 7000 burning out. So, a lot of Expo kits have been essentially causing issues with the SoC voltage in a lot of motherboards, specifically ASUS motherboards but not limited to. While they have claimed to be releasing new BIOSes and pulling old BIOSes to be able to fix this issue and limiting the SoC voltage for 3D V-Cache chips to 1.3, that does not address the fact that it does also happen to normal non-3D V-Cache CPUs that have been overvolted to the living shits, especially in the SoC. In fact, the issue is so problematic that a guy contacted me yesterday with issues with performance on a 7950X3D, and yes, you guessed it, he had an ASUS motherboard, an Expo kit, and a 7950X3D. He most likely enabled Expo the day that he received his PC, well, built it mind you because he built it himself, and didn't touch it ever since, which means there's a very solid chance he's been running 1.4 volts since the day he built his computer. Because yes, when I opened his BIOS, it was set to 1.4 volts on the SoC, which is insanely high for a 3D chip, and it's generally just quite high. But with that said, there's a solid chance his poor performance in Call of Duty, which he came to me to fix, is as a result of deterioration from the 1.4 volt SoC. I'm gonna jump into the BIOS for a second so I can show you guys how to adjust your SoC voltage. Once you're into OC Tweaker, go to SoC Uncore OC Voltage, and you should be able to change it from auto to whatever you want. Now what you're gonna notice is when I type 1.25 volts, everything is perfectly reasonable, the numbers don't change color. But the second I type 1.3 volts, the numbers go red in my ASRock motherboard, implying that they are already high numbers at that point. Now, I personally have ran mine at 1.25 volts this entire time, so I've not had any issues, but I wanted to show you something. I've been running the DRAM XMP profile at 6000 and then manually tuned it, but if you change it to 6400, it automatically puts the SoC voltage to the maximum safe limit considered by ASRock, which is 1.3. And at that point, the number's already red, showing that even ASRock believes it's an overclock and it may not be safe. But at 1.25, everything's normal. Luckily with ASRock boards this has not been an issue, but unfortunately with ASUS motherboards 1.4 volt SoCs are completely easily achievable. The very last thing you want is deteriorated performance as a result of shitty SoC voltages set by a manufacturer. And I don't know what more to tell you guys than it's none of our faults, it's AMD's fault for this complete screw up, and I hope that none of you will have issues as a result of it. So please go check your SoC voltages, make sure they're like 125 to 13, no more than that, and everything should be okay. With that said, I hope you guys have a good one, and peace.